Hi, good people. Welcome to my channel. It's been a while since we met here. So, karibuni sana. I hope you're having a good time. Today, I'm going to tell you about people who've impacted my life enormously. I hope that they know that whatever they did to my life, I am forever grateful for it. And today, I just want to take the time to acknowledge their actions and their influence in my life. So the first person that I want to acknowledge is Abigail. Abigail is my cousin, and we met when I joined boarding school. So I joined boarding school when I was very young. At 7 years old, I was in class three, and life was very hard. I used to cry a lot because now you have to do your own chores, you have to adjust to the new food in school, and I always used to say, next time, I'll move to another school. Next time, next time. Luckily enough, she joined, I think, on the next term, and she took over as my big sister. She used to help me wash clothes, fetch water. Basically, she would do everything for me. She looked out for me in every possible way. I felt at home, at peace, and my life definitely became more settled in school because I knew if I need anything, Abigail was there. If I needed a friend, Abigail was there. And Abigail, I hope you know that what you did, how you treated me back then, I will forever be grateful. And I can even remember when my sister joined the school about 2 years later and took over that role. I still wish that Abigail could continue to do what she was doing because that is how good she was. So, yeah, Abigail, thank you so much. The second person is Esther Mabea. This girl, we met in primary school also, and she was the most humble lady I have ever met. And at the time, I remember we used to write a lot of compositions. There was even a simile made because of her, as humble as Esther Mabea. This girl took no offense easily. She was forgiving, she was kind, and I used to admire that about her. And I told myself, God, me, my life is chaotic. I keep getting into trouble. There's no peace. I have no peace. God, I want my life to be like that of Esther. And sure enough, one day I just decided I'll go quiet. I know that's not the definition of being humble, but it helped me in my transition to being a more generally a more thoughtful person, kinder person, because I started to just avoid the noise basically. And I loved it since then. I was like, oh wow, I love this life. No chaos, so much peace. And to add on to that, Esther used to wash my clothes, fetch water for me. I was in class 7 at the time, and we needed obviously some extra time to read and concentrate. And I was privileged enough to be taken care of by Esther Mabea. She was a good friend. She did everything without complaining, and I'm forever grateful for her. She helped me concentrate, and of course, I wouldn't have done better or what I got in my grades were it not for Esther Mabea. So Esther, thank you so much. Oh, and she's also a big fan of my YouTube channel, always cheering me on. Thank you, Esther, so much. I pray for you and I love you. The next person The next person that I want to acknowledge is Faith Okongo. Faith is a friend, a sister, a neighbor. She's everything that I've ever wanted, or rather, she's just everything. And I'll say we are neighbors. That's how I knew her from a very young age. We went to the same high school. I remember she's the first person who called me and told me, "Hi, you've been chosen to my school," and she was so excited. And I remember life became more more bearable because she was around, and it even got to a point where I chose not to go for half term because she was also being left behind, and I felt at home being around her. I felt at home because we would always uh, come together, like talk about things. And funny enough, when I went to campus, she went to Moy. She is the first person who also called me and told me, by the way, do not choose this and this hostel because it's terrible. So because of her, I managed to book a really a better hostel than most first years. And in school, at least I knew there was someone who I could go to. I believe faith is my guardian angel. And to top onto that, faith has always been significant in my career journey or in my professional journey. She's the most diligent, hardworking lady I have ever met. She's a timekeeper. She's a lady of her words. She keeps her word, and that's I love that about her. If Faith says I will do this, then be rest assured Faith is gonna do it. She pushes me to do better. She encourages me. She's very patient, especially because maybe she's at a better place in terms of growth and development. She mentors me in such a lovely way, and I'm always grateful for such a person who I find a sister and all these things in her. Faith, you're so blessed. I love you, and I'll be forever grateful for our friendship. Faith is a giver. Faith will take care of you and expect nothing in return. She is one of the people who has taught me about kindness and giving without expecting anything in return, just giving. And I pray that one day, by the way, you'll be able to see her in these big spaces doing great things. She's already doing great things, but one day the world will know about her. She does amazing work. Yes, so I'd also like to acknowledge my friends or colleagues at work. So they're the first people who introduced me to the corporate world, to the job market. That is one Nandwa. I met Nandwa when I was doing my attachment in Nairobi. And years later, when an opportunity arose, he calls me deep when we are at the height of the pandemic. He calls me, tells me there's a job opportunity for you. What do you think? Can you come? And that becomes my very, very first real job, or rather, more professional job. And the people I also meet there, Tuti and Macau, those engineers were great. They taught me with so much patience. They gave me confidence. They used to give me power in a way that they would give me projects so that I could own them. They were not selfish with their projects. They wanted me to grow and be my own person. Sometimes it's not easy for people to let you do big projects on your own or handle some tasks. I've met people who just want you to do the dirty work. They will not even recommend you to go to boardrooms. Tuti and Macau they ensured that I went for meetings, even at as young as I was in terms of career. And I used to learn so much in those meetings, see how people talk, how they think and strategize. And it even got to a point where after my probation, I would be left in the office all alone to do things. That is how much they believed in me. And I remember there's a time when Engineer Macau used to tell me, hey, Bilia, don't fear these people. Sometimes just walk in the corridors and pretend you're talking on the phone and say big things. Do not let people see you that you can't. I mean, he was obviously joking, but what I got is I should believe in myself, that you shouldn't let people think that you can't. Talk positivity into yourself, and for sure, they were the best colleagues, best people I've ever worked with. And yes, my time there was very short, but within that time, I had the best time of my life. So, Tuti, Macau, Nandwa, thank you for making my life and introducing me into the career world, and for teaching me with so much patience. Yani, when I went, I knew nothing. Well, as you know, classroom experience is not the same as industry experience, and they taught me with so much patience, so much patience. And every time I'm teaching someone, I remember them because it enables me to offer others grace, more grace and patience. I would also like to acknowledge one Anel Omondi. Anel, we met when I was in campus, and her impact was when I got my very first. It was an internship job. Yes, in Eldoret. I didn't know anyone, didn't have a place, had nothing. The pay was so little that I couldn't start life in the sense that I couldn't pay rent and buy all household things at once. And she hosted me, gave me everything. And Anel, that was so thoughtful, so kind of you. And I'll forever be indebted to you because you showed me so much kindness and I really needed it. Now you can talk.
Hi, my name is Ivy. I'm from school now. Bye.
Okay, bye. One other person I'd like to acknowledge is Martin Muturi. So Martin Muturi, I met when I was working in the industry, and at that time, any life was difficult. In my job, I used to interact with a lot of managers, and it got to a place where it was a little bit difficult to maneuver through the politics, and I found my job to be very difficult. I thought no one is understanding. Any life was so difficult at work. I felt like I didn't add value when in fact I was adding value. So, and I don't know what attracted me to Martin. I can't remember because one day I just went to his office and introduced myself, started talking, and I kept telling him about what was happening at work. And one day he told me, Bilia, do you need a mentor? I can be your mentor if you want to. And I have never been so humbled in my life for someone. He's actually the first person who's outrightly offered me to be like offered mentorship to me directly. And later he tells me that, hey, I saw you were in a very bad position. You really needed the mentorship. And the more I talked to him, the more I recognized my value, the more I believed in myself. I remember when I used to tell him, but this is a good place. I love my job. He used to remind me, Billy, there's a bigger world out there. Do you know there are better places out there? And every time I feel stuck or I'm about to just stay in apathy or in a comfort zone, I remember his words. There's a bigger world out there. You can reach it. And one thing about Martin is he always cheered me on. He always spoke positivity into me. He always made me look at things from a different perspective. He is the first person who changed my mindset to be able to know that I should take responsibility. I should be accountable, and in the end, you're accountable for your life. You can not put that responsibility on someone else. So, Martin, I have never gotten back. I was such a bad mentee, but he changed my life for the better forever. I was able to be more resilient and adaptable. So, thank you. Bye bye.